What's going on, guys? It's Kyle. Welcome to the Stock Goat YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be covering the Sofi stock. Be sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Let's try and get this video past 1,000 likes so more and more people can see this video. And don't forget to drop a comment. I'm going to be commenting back to as many people as I can. So, guys, after an amazing earnings report with Sofi, we know that, we have to get past this crazy week. This happens every single month. We have CPI data coming in less than 3 days. If the inflation skyrockets, we're going to be going down. I'm making these videos for you to get prepared. And we also have more potential bad news with Biden and his student loan extension. He's supposed to be making an announcement in the next 1 to 2 weeks. We have to wait for that, but most likely he will make an announcement after the CPI report comes out on the 10th. So I'm here to get you guys prepared. Be sure to smash the like button. And guys, I'm telling you right now, since that earnings report for Sofi, everyone has been searching the stock on YouTube, and you can see if you search Sofi stock at the top of YouTube, Stock Goat is the #1 creator covering this channel. So we're going to be keeping you updated daily on all the breaking news. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's try and get the channel past 15,000 subs. Even though we have the Fed taking a 2-month break, doing those, rate hikes and stuff like that, those CPI, inflation reports do not stop. Inflation data, concerns about a hard landing later. You can see the media, they're just trying to build up some fear, get those views to these, channels and stuff like that so that they can, do more ad revenue. So it's just a fear market, headline with these articles around inflation. Investors will get the latest gauge of how quickly prices are rising across the U.S. economy from 3 releases on tap in the coming days: PPI, CPI, and unit labor costs. For anybody new, this is the website you're going to go to, the CPI website. Scroll down a little bit, August 10th. 8:30 a.m. I try to, just not even follow these early in the morning so I don't stress. I wait till like 10 o'clock to look because either your stocks are going to be in the green or they're going down 5 to 10% instantly come the 10th. So we are less than 3 days away from the CPI report, and you can see the media is already starting to build up that fear around those, CPI reports. Sofi stock held up pretty well. I've been hearing a lot of people on the forums talk about a gap fill down to 730, 750. Hey, it's possible, but hey, at least we made it out of that $5 and $6 range. Market cap right now says $6.3 billion on Yahoo Finance, but the shares aren't completely updated. Just know right now we're around 925 million shares. So you can see the market cap says 6.3 billion, but the correct market cap is 7.3 billion. I believe Yahoo Finance doesn't have that Technisys acquisition priced in. That was right around $1 billion. So that's where the more outstanding shares are coming around. So we're about 7.3 billion market cap. That's right around 4 to 5 times sales, guys. We are extremely low. The stock market right now is pricing in basically none of our growth. Our book value is right around $6. So this stock has tons and tons of room to run. I mean, we should be priced to sales at least $10, guys. That's around a $13 to $14 stock. And my latest YouTube channel covers, Sofi's fair value could be anywhere from $13 to $24. All right, guys, and we have to cover, the sour thing that's been going on for Sofi for over 2.5 years. That is the student loan extensions, and this is taking away from Sofi's profitability extremely dramatically. I mean, we're talking close to $80 to $100 million of EBITDA Sofi had to get rid of because of this portion of their business getting wiped out. So we're going to listen to this, guys. Remember, this is the big, headline covering Sofi. I mean, Sofi right now is one of those Fast and the Furious cars. It has 2 NOS tanks in the back ready to take off, but they're empty right now. There's no NOS inside of those tanks. So Sofi's just completely going off what the engine has. So we need to get those NOS tanks filled. We need to get student loans back so we can do, a freaking 9-second quarter mile and just absolutely destroy growth for 2023. So that is the problem right now. And Yahoo Finance, one of these analysts, cover this student loan dilemma pretty accurately. That's why I'm sharing this video with you today.
Student loans have long been a burden for Americans, but the pain doesn't end there. Higher taxpayer costs for student loans have soured since Congress paused student loan repayments in 2020, complicating the case for forgiving student loan debt. Let's bring in Yahoo Finance's Rick Newman here with us at the desk. And Rick, the clock ticking yet again for the Biden administration as we look to the end of the month. What are they going to do?
I think there's no doubt they're going to delay these student loan repayments once again. I mean, this originally was part of the CARES Act in 2020, the very first piece of COVID pandemic relief. And then Presidents Trump and Presidents Biden have extended this deadline 5 times. And it defies imagination at this point that Biden's going to let that deadline expire 2 months before the midterm election. So I think.
So guys, as you can see, I've been trying to keep you guys a little bit confident, slightly confident, saying that Biden may start it back up if inflation drops down dramatically. You can see this gentleman just jump straight to midterms. That we've also been covering that a little. That's the bad news, because he's trying to rack in as many young voters, age 20 to 29 as he can for these midterms. So that's where he's going with. But I told you guys, the small portion of confidence would be if inflation just plummets. So he's just strictly going off of midterms, which is something to think about.
It's very likely that that deadline is going to get extended prior to the end of 2022. So if you have a student loan, you may not be having to make those payments until next year.
Now, this has been a bit of a struggle for the Biden administration, right? Throughout 2022, there were talks that they were going to forgive. They weren't forgiving. The volume of the forgiveness here. How much of a political issue is this headed into the midterms for the Biden administration, knowing this could be a key demographic?
It's a big issue, mainly because a lot of young people who supported Biden in 2020 feel ripped off. They feel like Biden said he would forgive some student debt, and he hasn't done anything. Now, let's be clear about what Biden actually said he would do. Biden does not favor as much debt forgiveness as some Democrats, such as Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren, who would go.
Those are the Terminators. They will never stop till the day they die on Twitter. Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. They want to cancel the $2 trillion student loans, make it free forever. So those are the Terminators, and they are a problem for Sofi out on Twitter.
Bernie Sanders would forgive all of it and make college free, and Elizabeth Warren said, let's forgive up to $50,000. So Biden said that's too much. He favors $10,000 in debt forgiveness, but key thing here, he wants Congress to do it by passing a law, and Democrats don't have the vote to do that. So that's why some Democrats are pressuring Biden now to do some kind of student debt forgiveness by executive action, which he doesn't want to do, clearly.
You mentioned the midterms. You've said for a long time that you think student loans could be an issue in play, especially for younger voters. There's a lot of developments that we've seen from this administration over the last few weeks. Obviously, what happened with the Supreme Court, what happened with the CHIPS Act, now potentially this Inflation Reduction Act. And then, of course, yesterday we got that announcement on the al-Qaeda leader being killed. Has the momentum shifted for the Democrats at all?
Absolutely. Now, I don't know if that means that will get them more votes in November. But yeah, killed an important al-Qaeda leader who had a role in the 9/11 terrorist attacks more than 20 years ago, let's point out. They still were going after this guy. And then Biden had he had one important legislative win with the CHIPS Act, which Congress passed, and then the Inflation Reduction Act. Now, that has not passed yet. Let's be clear about this. But analysts are giving it about a 75% likelihood that it will pass. So if it does, Biden will suddenly be able to say, look, I am getting some things done. And that's the case for reelecting Democrats and letting them keep control of Congress. A really important thing here is turnout. So it's not just how do voters feel, but to go back to younger voters, will they even bother to vote is a big question. Of course, turnout drops during midterms, sometimes by quite a lot. And some of those younger voters who wanted some action on debt relief might say, you've done nothing for me, so I'm just going to sit this one out.
All right, guys. So they're saying right now Biden is pushing, to do a lot of good things the last second before these midterms with the chips, the inflation reduction. So Biden's trying to make as many moves as he can. Then you also can combine that with student loan extension. These Democrats are really trying to make a push, in their favor, especially for these young voters. This gentleman's saying that he might be losing out on a lot of those voters coming out, So that's that age 20 to 29, I believe, especially with those student loans. So that's a huge gap of voters that, Biden could potentially be losing out on. So once again, they didn't really talk about the CPI having anything to do with these student loans. They look like they're basically saying it looks to do a lot with midterms. If you made it to the end of the video, I want to say I really do appreciate it. I enjoyed doing this video for you. Remember, guys, SoFi's growth is extremely explosive. We're talking back-to-back years of 50% growth. And if student loans come back next year, it could be potentially a 60% year-over-year growth. So SoFi has those NOS tanks. We just got to fill them up with NOS and absolutely take off for 2023. I believe a profitable quarter could be around the corner if we get those student loans back, because that's $80 to $100 million of EBITDA we lost out even at those lower levels of, student loans that SoFi was doing. So it's going to be most likely exploding when student loans come back. And we know that SoFi is one of the strongest student loan lenders, in the entire America right now. So a lot of good things are heading SoFi's way. We're just in a little bit of a, pickle dilemma, and we need to get out of it, guys. So time is on your side. This is a time to be accumulating. We know fair value could be anywhere from $13 to $24 on a simple price to sales multiple of 8x. That's like the top 5 legacy tech stocks, price to sales right now. So a lot of upside. Once again, my name is Kyle. Hope you have a great day.